There's an article which was written quite a while ago, which explains what is the difference between the soul, will, so to speak, the power of the brain or the intellect, that everybody has a bit of it because this is how it is built in. And they say in the article something very interesting. The soul has, what does the soul want? Oh, just to expand. Now, how does the soul expand here in this world, in the dimensions of space and time? Comes a will, yes? Somebody sends something, he wants to walk, others, yes? And suddenly everything follows, the body, the hand movement, the feet, taking the keys, opening the door, and so on. So, see how it works, seeing how it works. Yes? The soul wants to expand. The route or the route in which the souls expand is the will. When will rises, let's say walking, suddenly everything is embedded in the system, in the flute, body, mind, and there's a movement of walking or towards walking. Because the will is rising, and there's like electricity, yes, that flush into the body, mind, and the movement comes. And there's a walking. And the soul expands or expresses its way by walking. Once the will ceases, everything returns. And you cannot find any, how do you say, when somebody was walking, now he came home, he sits in his sofa or in his desk, you cannot find in a way traces for the soul. Because the will is not there, and if the will is not there in the walking, there is no expansion there in this direction. And all this walking ability, so to speak, is invisible. It is concise. And the man is sitting. But, and here's the difference. When there's thinking going on, it's happening. But after the thinking, in a way, a sense, there is still impressions in the brain. So the brain is a bit different because it is carrying traces. You see what is the difference between the soul, the will, and the power of intellect or the power of the brain? You see now the difference? This is what the article is saying.
Yes.
If there's like a will to do something, we are not the doers, it will come. We can trust come, and suddenly there's a movement. Before you notice it, it's already moving. Yes, and this is how the soul expands. How do you say? Expands? Yes. Expresses itself through walking. Because without the soul, yes, streaming the power, the electricity, there is no walking, the king, nothing. Once the will, it's like a fire, yes? Electricity, like it is moving, yes? once it is complete, the soul is retrieving in a way, and there's no walking anymore or no sitting anymore. Yes, because there's no need to express it. But since in the brain there are how do you say, footprints. So, yes, yes, it comes back to unity. Yes, yes. This is how it is. Now, before we continue with Sefer HaBahir, do you have any questions or impressions that you would like to share with us before we continue with Sefer HaBahir?
Just to thank you, Rich, I understand what you're saying, but if just to understand this thing, I don't know, this path that is leaving the brain, this blueprint, it tends to repeat, right? It
Yes,
tends
yes,
to.
yes. To tell it is like yes, it's play like a close how do you say, like closed television circle all the time.
Yes,
Yes, it's the only tape.
it's the
Yes,
only
it
thing.
just plays the same tape over and over and over again, like a broken record. Yes, it keeps records.
Yes,
This is how it works. It just keeps records
yes,
and tries to what else to define us. Yes, I have a record of you. Da 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 da.
yes,
So if I have a record, it's like it's a form institution. Before there are institutions in the world, universities, law offices, and so governments. This is the first institution. There
and
is a
cookies on
file.
internet, you
Yes,
know.
yes, yes. He keeps
Yes,
his own record. I have a record of you. Yes, here, there, sitting, talking. I have a record. I can give you everything. And you know what is so beautiful? The record is always about the figure. Because the
hmm
brain is connected to the body mind. The record's only about this. The brain cannot give us recordings of someone who lives in Japan we never met or so. No.
but it
This
is
is
interesting.
yes,
When I we talked already about this, like that scientist, Mexican scientist that went to a shaman Pachita, you know, and he could see that Pachita had the ability to materialize even organs of the body. And the guy was a neuroscientist. He disappeared, but it's interesting that he said that his theory is that we could have the ability to overcome this closed circle, like to enter in the programmation mode, let's say. Do you believe in this, that it is possible to enter in this programmation, this coding
never,
of the
never.
brain?
Just drop it. Never. It's impossible
No, it,
to overcome the programming of the brain.
yes, to become to have the ability to program something, to change the default program,
To see, the only way is to see that you're not that we are not that, the programming. To see that we are not that. Because the program is uh, comes to ability when the baby is like develops in natural development, yes, and this is how it starts. But to see that we are not that. We are not, it's funny, but we are not our brains. We are no, we aren't those great calculators. We're not. We aren't those institutions, if we look at people, yes? Each one has his own or her own institution. We are not of the institution. The first institution is the brain. But we are not the institution. We are not of that. There is no limitation to the infinite. But we learn from very young age to be conditioned, because there's like finitum, yes? But this is not who we are. So there is no need to fight with it, yes, or try to overcome it or educate it, because just to see that we are not that have measure, that we are not the bodies, that we are not the stories, that we are not the history or the sequence or the outcomes of people meeting in the past. We're not.
This is a way to program, right?
What?
To be conscious that the frame that we are put it in is not the only frame that exists. It is what, like that book of Course of Miracles also tries to tell, like to give ways to not believe in this kind of in everything that appears on the mind, especially if is there not a unity, especially especially if the thoughts are not in relation to unity and love.
This is why they
But
call it
thank you.
Course in Miracles. This is why they call it the Course of Miracles. Yes, a miracle is when we see that we're not that. This is constant miracle to see that we are not that. I mean, yes, Fernando?
No, just to thank you, Eti. I don't want to get out of track of Sefer HaBahir as well, But thank you so much for bringing.
You're most welcome. Just one word about Sefer HaBahir. On Monday we were reading Mark 8 here with Rodrigo and Yanis. And I noticed and I told them this Mark, that it's very, very ancient. Very, very ancient, because it opens a conversation. It is not just a conclusion, as we sometimes find in the Midrashim, or it is very, very ancient. So I started reading, and it appears to be that there are many, many versions of Sefer HaBahir. Many, many versions. So at the moment, we are reading here this Koren edition, according to the what Kaplan used as a core text, not his explanation or translation, but the text, because it's already been edited. So this is one form. Yes, there are many, 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 yes, forms and prints and handwritings of Sefer HaBahir, which are being researched those days. Since the conversation on Monday was so, profound, I started reading. And I found in Gershom Scholem, Gershom Scholem left his books to the National Library in Jerusalem. So I found there Sefer HaBahir in handwriting from the 19th century. And I started reading it, and I was so stunned, because it is a completely, completely different book from what we are reading here now in print. And I looked into HebrewBooks.org and I found another print of Sefer HaBahir. Amsterdam was printed in Amsterdam 1616, 51. And it's like we're reading those resources. And this one that we have now in print, that let's call it the Kaplan version, or not his version, but what has been summarized on print. This is this one. Let's call it Koren. Koren edition took it in print. We're not reading his translation or explanation because this is off topic. What he takes really different direction. Also in his book Sefer Yetzirah, he takes completely different direction because he turns it into biology lesson and to the organs of men and so. But just to tell us or to share with us that this, let's say Mark 8, which we're gonna reread now, it's very, very, very ancient. It can be so ancient that this deliverance of conversation is more than 2,000 years. Yes? This paragraph, which I would like to read with you and see how it goes. Fernando, this is very, very interesting because the conversation here is very, very important. Yanis already heard it on Monday. Yes. So we're reading at Mark 8 according to this Koren print. This is Mark 8 because probably there are many, many hundreds of books of Sefer HaBahir. This is one of them. It has its own limitations. But this paragraph is very, very ancient, very ancient. ועוד למה הוסיף הקדוש ברוך הוא באברהם. Now the question comes from Rabbi Amorai. Rabbi Amorai, his name is Amorai, from Amar, to say with love. So now Rabbi Amorai asks a question. ועוד למה הוסיף הקדוש ברוך הוא, and why the Holy Blessed He added another letter He in the name of Abram, because his name was Avram, 4 letters, and the Holy Blessed He added another letter He to his name. And the question that Rabbi Amorai asks, why He? From all the rest of the other letters, why did he choose He? And now this is very interesting because it correlates to what you said before, Fernando. אלא כדי שיזכו כל איבריו של אדם לחיי עולם הבא, שהוא נמשל לים. Now, he asks why the letter He was added to his name more than any other letters, and then he answers. In order, or but, or because, כדי שיזכו כל איבריו, that all the organs of men will have the righteousness to the life of the coming or the next world, שהוא נמשל לים, which is parallel to the sea or to the ocean. כביכול בו נשלם הבניין, seemingly in him, in Abram, the building is complete. דכתיב, as it is written, Genesis 9:6, כי בצלם אלוהים עשה את האדם, because in the image, צלם אלוהים is usually translated to the image of God, Yes, Tselem Elohim, the image of God. And he says here, Ki betzelem Elohim asa et ha'adam. Because in the shadow of the manifested, he has made man or human. Ve'avraham begimatria ramach. Ve'avraham, the value of the name Avraham, 5 letters, is 248. Keminyan ivarav shel ha'adam, as the value or as the number of the organs of man, of human. Questions before we gonna reread and reread, because there's something interesting happening here.
Eti,
Yes, I'm listening.
no, it's interesting that yesterday, uh, unfortunately on Monday I could not join, but yesterday I was reading this paragraph and the next one, especially the next one, the 10th, because I could not understand a line, and
Yes,
the commentary of Aria Kaplan helped me to understand at least one idea about it. And about
yes,
this topic, I think that he brings that the letter He also resembles the 5 levels of the soul.
yes,
And this is why Abraham was like this archetypal figure of the of one that is whole, you know. So I was just bringing this idea about the
yes,
5 levels of the soul.
yes. This is Ari Kaplan's translation. Yes, but let's look at the deliverance of Rabbi Amorai. Rabbi Amorai says, very interesting. This is why when we noticed this on Monday, I said it's very, very ancient deliverance. Very ancient deliverance. Why? Because he asks a question, he gives an answer. His answer is so far from the question, and he supports the answer with one verse from Job, and then he concludes his answer and says, because. Why the letter He from all the other letters? כי בצלם אלוהים עשה את האדם. בצלם Elohim, usually it is translated to the image of God. Now let's not deal with the translation to English, but when we take the two words בצלם Elohim, the value of those two words, Betzelem Elohim, is 248. Ve'avraham begimatria, and Abraham in Gematria, in the value of each letter together, is Ramach, 248, Keminyan Shel Adam, as the number of the organs of men. So now, what is the reason that Rabbi Amorai gives here? Yes, why the letter He from all other letters? This is Rabbi Amorai. Yes, because what Kaplan does, with all due respect, is like children's game here. Yes, but what is written? What is written, and this is why the text is so ancient. It is so, so ancient. So, what does Rabbi Amorai tells us? Why the letter Hey was given to the four letters. Previously, he was born with the name Avram, four letters, but why the letter Hey was added to his name and not any other letter of the other 21? Or if you want, the other 26, because there are 27 in general. Why is that so?
To be the image of God.
Yes,
B'Tselem Elohim.
yes.
It's beautiful because the letter Hey also indicates like a space, right? A window, a space, a vessel.
It's yes, specifically a window to the soul. Yes.
And what does it mean, the coming world, and its relation with the sea?
Yes. Yes. So let's start and read it again because I will start in Mark 7. This is like one or two paragraphs before what we read now, that we shall have the connection why the next world or the coming world is parallel to the sea. This is why it is so deep. So this is Mark 7. ישב רבי אמוראי ודרש. Rabbi Amorai was sitting and teaching. My dichtiv, what is it which is written? Deuteronomy 33:23, ומלא ברכת השם, ים ודרום ירשה. What is it which is written that it is fulfilled with the blessing of being as the sea or as the ocean, and the south inherited it. כך אמר משה. So said Moses. אם תלך בחוקותיו, if you shall walk in his laws, orders, תירש עולם הזה והעולם הבא. If you will walk in his orders, in his laws, תירש העולם הזה, you shall inherit this world and the next coming world. העולם הבא, now he explains, Rabbi why explains, העולם הבא, the coming of the next world, שהוא נמשל לים, which is sea or to the ocean, שנאמר, that it is written, being said, Job 11:9, ורחבה מן ים, meaning that the Torah or the blessing is wider, vast, and broader than the sea. So next or the coming world is broader or vast than the sea. העולם הזה, and this world or this moment, נמשל לדרום, is parallel south. שנאמר, that it written or being said, Joshua 15:10, כי ארץ הנגב נתתני, because you have given me, or you have given me, the land of the Negev. The land of the Negev. And now he explains, umetargeminina, and they translate it to Re'ara de Daruma. What is Eretz HaNegev? The land of the south. Why Eretz HaNegev? It is wiped. Lenagev is to wipe from any drop of moist water. It is dry land. Yes? So he says this moment is a dry moment. But the coming moment, the coming world, yes, it's like the sea. Do we understand the course of thinking? Shall we
Yes.
read it again? Yes?
No, no, I understand the sea, the water, the blessing. It is a matrix of signif of I could understand it. It is like a matrix of symbols about what is the coming world, let's say.
Yes.
The sea is related with blessing and is related with abundance and living waters and so on
Yes.
and so forth.
Yes. Yes. So this is Mark 7 and then Mark 8. ועוד למה הוסיף הקדוש ברוך הוא, and then why the Holy Blessed He add another letter Hey in the name Abram more than other letters, אלא but כדי שיזכו כל איבריו של אדם, but the whole organs of man will have the righteousness to the life of the coming world, שהוא נמשל לים, that it is parallel to the sea, to the ocean, כביכול, seemingly, בו, in him, in Abraham, נשלם הבניין, the building is complete, the building of man, דכתיב, that it is written, Genesis 9:6, כי בצלם אלוהים עשה את האדם. Because in the image of God he made man. Image of God, בצלם אלוהים, those two words have the same value as 248 as the value of Abraham with the letter He, and as the sum of organs of men. So what kind of teaching? This is Rabbi Amorai. What does he want to tell us about the letter that was added to the name Abram? Why the letter He was added to the name Abram more than any other letter? What is the image of God? We say in English the image of God. It is being, now there's a question, we don't have to answer the question. It is being written, Genesis 9:6, כי בצלם אלוהים עשה את האדם, because in the image or in the shadow of the manifestation, this is more accurate, in the shadow, yes, צלם holds צל lamed, tzadi lamed is tzel, shadow, because in the shadow Elohim is the manifested, because in the shadow of the manifested עשה את האדם, he made men. עשה, made, making.
Eti,
Yes.
this Adam Kadmon, this first Adam. Adam, in fact, is humanity, right? Of course, humanity and man is the same, but usually we understand Adam as a male, a man, but in fact is humanity, right? Adam. And this Adam Kadmon is the idea of unity, of all human beings in unity that resembles God. So Abraham resembles this unity, this first unity, uh, this conquer of this primal uh, state of unity, maybe.
Prototype, you mean that?
So we could say that Abraham is Adam, is
Yes,
humanity.
yes, yes. That's he's his generation, and 20 is the crown. Yes, like Adam lost in a way the crown. This is also interesting perspective. Yes, and then
Beautiful.
Abraham
Yes.
start. Yes, start. He said, "Shlama binyan," like it's a broken building. Has the image of a building that, in the course of generations, getting more and destroyed and more broken as long as the generations progress. And with Abraham, the decision to rebuild from completion, the building of man. When the sages write a number of organs, they don't write numbers, they write letters. So they say Ramach Memchet. When Mechet, yes, is Moach, this is the brain, and Resh is the Rosh. Resh is the beginning, Rosh, and Resh, and also duality. So you see, this is quite interesting, very, very interesting. Mark 9. My dichtiv, what it is which is written, Deuteronomy 33:23. Umale birkat Hashem yam vedaron yerasha. What it is which is written, Deuteronomy, Umale birkat Hashem, and is fulfilled with the blessing of being, as the sea or as the ocean, and the south inherited it. Rash haya lomar lo. He should have said Rash, the word Rash, and not the verb Yerasha, inherited it. So Rabbi Amurai says the verse in Deuteronomy should have had written Rash and not Yerasha. Rash is poor, is poor. So he says the blessing should contain the two letters Rash, which is poor, not Yerasha, inherited. Ela, now he comes with the way. Ela Rash Ya. He takes the word Yerasha, or the verb Yerasha, inherited it, which is 4 letters, divided it into 2 parts, and says Ela Rash Ya. Af Hakadosh Baruch Hu, though all holy blessed He, Baklal, in the general. Vehainu Rash Ya. Also, the holy blessed He, which is here, is represented by the letters Yod He, only the 2 first letters of the Tetragrammaton. And here says Rabbi Amorai Rash Ya. Also, the holy blessed He is not outside of the world, He is included. And this is the meaning of Rash Ya. The letters of Ya, Yod He from the Tetragrammaton are poor. למה הדבר דומה? To what does this resemble or similar to? למלך שהיו לו בית אוצרות. To a king who had two treasures. והקצה לו אחד מהם לבנו. And one of the treasures he gave to his son. לסוף ימים אמר לבנו. To the end of days he told his son. טול מה שיש בשני אוצרות הללו. Take what there is in those two treasures. אמר הבן, says the son. שמא לא ייתן לי מה שהוקצה לי. Now the son was afraid. Maybe he will not give me what has been given to me. אמר לו, told him the king, טול הכל, take everything. והיינו דכתיב, and this is what it is written, ים ודרום ירשה, the sea and the ocean inherited it. Sorry, the sea and the south inherited it. וירש. ויינתן לך הכל, and everything will be given to you. אם תשמור דרכי, if you'll watch my way. Is it understood? How does Rabbi Rachumai read the verb yerasha? Yerasha. Is it clear? Yes. Can you, Fernando, would you like to summarize this for us? You can speak, Fernando. Let's read it again. Let's read it. This is interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Fernando, you can ask in voice. Everything is good. You can ask. You can unmute and ask. No, it's not. Okay, so let's reread again. This is Mark 9. Now, Rabbi Rachumai, no, it's Amorai. Amorai, the one who says with love. Yes, Amorai, he asks another question. My dichtiv, what is it which is written, Deuteronomy 33:23, Umale birkat Hashem, Yam v'darom yirasha. What it is which is written, and it is fulfilled with the blessing of being, as the sea and the south inherited it. Now he focuses only on, yes, who would in the letter. Let's see. So he asks, what is it which is written, and it is fulfilled with the blessing of being, as the sea and the south inherited it. Now he focuses on the verb yerasha, inherited it. And he says, Rash hayalo lomar. He says, Rabbi Amorai, the loving one, says, the verse should contain the word Rash. Rash, it means a poor as a noun, yes, or from Yarash, inherited. So he says this verb should contain only two letters, Rash. Rash, yeah, but he takes the four letters and divided it and order it. Yes, he takes the beginning of Yerusha and the Hey at the end. Yes, Yod at the beginning, Hey at the end, and he puts them together. And he says, okay, those two letters create the name Yah. And he brings the Resh and the Shin before. So according to the way he speaks, or the speaking says, instead of writing Yerusha, it should have been written Rash Yah. Why? Why to read it in this way, Rash Yah? Af HaKadosh Baruch Hu, also the Holy Blessed He, Baklal. The Holy Blessed He is not outside of the world. He is included in, Klal is the general, Vehainu, Rash Yah. And this is why it is Rash Yah. Now, another question. Lema hadavar dume, to what this is resembled to, a parallel to lemelech shehayu lo bet otzarot, to a king who had two treasures. והקצה לו אחד מהם לבנו, and one of them he gave to his son. לסוף ימים אמר לבנו. At the end of days he told his son, טול מה שיש בשני אוצרות הללו. Take what there is in those both treasures. אמר הבן, says the son, שמא לא ייתן לי מה שהוקצה לי. He was afraid now that the father will skip what he promised him before, that he will lose now. אמר לו, the king told the son, טול הכל, take everything, meaning both treasures. והיינו דכתיב, and this is what it is written. Now Rabbi Amorai explains, ים ודרום ירשה, the sea and the south inherited it, ויה רש, meaning Yah, the name of God, the first part of the tetragrammaton, Yod and Hey, Veya Rash, yes? Wisdom and understanding, but it's not yet, we are not here with the spheres yet. Yes, it's a very, very ancient text. Veya Rash, yes? Ya is the first part of the tetragrammaton, and Yod and Hey, Rash. Because Yod and Hey are the, let's say, the one who inherit. V'yinaten lecha hakol, and everything will be given, im tishmor darki, if you will guard, if you watch my way. Yes, Fernando. How does Rabbi Amorai read this verse? How does he read the verb Yerasha? Yes, Yanis, you can also unmute and speak if you like.
Eti,
Yes.
just one question. It's interesting that the letter Hey was given to Abraham and Sarai, you know,
Yes.
but the letter Yod will be inherit. I think that Aryeh Kaplan speaks like in this sense, you know. I found it interesting. Like, but what does it mean to inherit? And it's interesting that what will be inherit is the 10, you know. Is the number one, is the unity again.
inherit God is everything. Yes, 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 yes. What is the fear of the Son? What is he afraid about?
That could be another treasure hidden, or he could he would not inherit everything. I think you
Yeah.
can correct me.
Yes, he thought. Yes, he thought that now that to the end of the days, he will be asked to give something and to quit on something that yes was promised or given to him in the past, and he says, "Take everything." Ya Rash, to inherit the Ya, which is unlimited. Ya is the part of the yes. Ya is the first part of the name of the tetragrammaton. And this is in a way the being that holds everything. This is why Ya Rash, being that because it's not yet manifested. Yes, Ya is the first part of the tetragrammaton. Yes, and Va is the manifested. So Ya Rash, to inherit also, which is not yet manifested, and this is to give him everything.
Beautiful, beautiful.
He was
We
afraid.
inherit love and unity, right?
Yes, yes, yes. He was afraid that he will lose the manifested. Yes, Yanis. The two treasures. If you, those are very, very ancient. He had two treasures. What are the two treasures, Fernando, that the king had? The manifested and the non-manifested. So he gave them, yes, he gave the manifested to his son. This is why he says here, yes. למה הדבר דומה? To what this is resembled to? למלך שהיו לו, to a king who had two treasures. והקצה לו אחד מהם לבנו. And he gave one, yes, one of them to his son. לסוף ימים, to the end of the days, he told his son, take מה שיש בשני אוצרות הללו. He was yes, yes, the king says to the son, at the end of days, take what there is in both treasures. Those treasures. אמר הבן, says the son, שמא לא ייתן לי מה שהוקצה לי? Maybe he will not give me what has been given me, meaning the manifested. Maybe now he will take the manifested. He's afraid. אמר לו, the king told, take everything. The manifested and the non-manifested. והיינו דכתיב, and this is what it is written, ים ודרום ירשע. The sea and the south inherited it. Now he opens the word or the verb ירשע, inherited it, and explains. וירש, meaning the two letters, first two letters of the tetragrammaton are inheriting. Because it's not yet the manifested, it's before space and time, and they holds everything. Because the unmanifested or the non-manifested holds the potential and the manifested. This is why he says, Veya Rash. ויינתן לך הכל, and everything shall be given to you. The non-manifested, the potential, the infinite, and the finite, the manifested. אם תשמור דרכי, if you'll guard and watch my way. Is it clear now, Yanis, Fernando? Clearer? There's so much in it. So little words, so much wisdom. The son was conditional. He thought, yes, look how the son thinks. Yes, Ben, why Ben and not any other? Because Ben is already the manifested. Yes, if this is the condition. Once there's a son, there's a condition. And he comes with this condition. Now I have to give away my share, my part, the manifestation. He says, take everything. Everything. It's not conditional. Yes, in time, Ben has the value of 52, like the 52 weeks in every solar year. Yeah, the manifestation. So there's a fear. The sun is, in a way, is the voice of the manifested. So he says, take treasure, take the manifestation. The sun. Please, it's very, very deep here. Take the manifested, because sun is the manifestation. And in the end of days, when he's afraid he has to give away, yeah, it says, take everything. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And with this beautiful moment, I would like to greet you with a very good month of Kislev. There's a new month, which is being born today, Kislev. This is the 9th month from spring, yes. It's a beautiful month with a lot of expansion, yes. A lot of love. It is beautiful, you feel. Rosh Chodesh Tov. Yes, Chodesh Tov to everyone. Are there any questions, Fernando, Yanis, if you want to ask anything? Please feel
No,
free to
Eti,
ask.
just to thank you so much. You opened it beautifully. Uh, uh, you open it widely than I ever expected. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Yanis, yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much for your sharing. I just want to know what does the last phrase when you mentioned about guarding his ways. What does it mean?
That again, Yanis, what?
Because you mentioned something as you were reading, you mentioned something that if you guard your ways or something.
He says, yes, and everything shall be given to you, im tishmor darki, if you'll guard my way.
What is that phrase? What does that phrase mean to guard my way?
To
If
think that you're
you because
part of
you
the
said
time, not to think, yes, not to think that we're manifested. This is the
because
beginning of the conversation with Fernando. We are manifested.
I think I
Like they
came in
say in a
late.
Psalms. What? What, Yanis?
I think I came in late, so I didn't hear the beginning. Uh, because when I don't understand that last phrase, the guarding of because he's supposed to inherit everything, but and you said it was not conditional, but yet it's conditional that of guarding the way. No,
Yeah, because not to forget that we are. What is to guard? What is to guard? not to believe that you are the sun, that you are the conditional. This is what the king tried to say, you are infinite. In the Bible, there's a beautiful verse in Genesis to guard what? Derech Etz HaChaim. Yes, to guard the way of the tree of life. The brain always tells men, you are finite. I can calculate everything. I can prove, I keep records. Fernando was mentioning in the beginning, there's records. The brain keeps great libraries. Yes, here I have records of you here and there. Not to believe that we are the manifested. When we are narrowed down to the manifested, we are little, we are narrative, we are fictional, we are afraid, disconnected, we have distrust to the world. We are not outside of the world. There's a lot of stress, there's a lot of animosity. Once we are reduced to the manifestation, all the demons are coming. We are not the. It's very simple. And this is why Fernando was sharing the Course of Miracle. And this is the great miracle of all. We are not the manifested. Because the miracle happens every moment. But the brain comes and says, no. Yes, we are now in 22, 25, such and such years past, with accounting, with the bookkeeping, with libraries, with documents. This is how the brain works. I can prove you. And the king says, you're not manifested. Don't be afraid. From what? It's like to say Yerasha. This is how Rabbi Amorai sorts the letters. Instead of Yerasha, Yod Re Shin He, he says Ya Rash, Yod He Rash. Yes? Rash is just inherits, it's like the two letters of Rosh. Yes? So Ya is the beginning. Reshit Chochmah, the beginning of wisdom, Yirat Hashem, sees the being. This is the same. See of the before. Don't be afraid, you're not the manifested, you're not the son. This is why you inherit everything. This is a very, very, let's say, two
Very
religions
deep.
were born from. Yes, you are not the son. Because Christianity goes to the narration, you are the son. It's bullshit. We are not. This is very simple. Don't be afraid, you're infinite. This is what the kings try to tell. This is why it's so ancient and so important to read. And who says those words? Rabbi Amorai. This is the sage loving, the name Amorai from Amar. Amar is to say with love. All his words is of loving. So happy months to all and see you soon on Saturday. תודה ולהתראות, תודה פרננדו, תודה יאניס, and see you soon.
Thank you, Iti. Thank you.
Thank you, Yanis.